Good morning, everyone. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Good, thanks. Just a reminder that we are recording this meeting and it will be posted on the blog with all the other discussion group videos. So miracles have happened, I guess. I have nothing on my agenda for this month's meeting, so this is all about you. Oh, actually, I lied. I want to mention that the next meeting is on February 14th at 11:30, and this information will also be posted on the blog, on the homepage of the blog. And speaking of the blog, I'm just wondering if anybody has been to the blog lately. We've had kind of a redesign, and I'm hoping that it's easier to find things now. With that said, the floor is yours.
Hi, I'll start. I have a question, please. Good morning, everybody. We recently had a staff FRS FSS go out on maternity, and I moved her entire caseload to another staff member that is picking up the families while she's away. I did TR, I reviewed the BPS and read a little bit about the process, but I couldn't find this one answer. Hoping maybe you could help. Are the requirements the same for the new temporary FRS as far as visit counts go? Discussing the families during reflective? Does anything change as far as numbers go and data when these families are transferred? Same weekly visits depending on the level, because the level, I noticed they all say TR now, so I'm just making sure that we're proceeding as usual. We don't do anything different. Do they count?
As far as I'm aware, and Chris or Corinne, you can correct me, but I think that everything remains the same.
That's what I understand. Everything is maintaining the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought so. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for your question.
Melissa, did you say all of the participants are showing up as TR or TO still? You
They
have
are
to,
now.
if they have an active worker, then you have to put them back to their current level, unless when they're putting in the visits, they're not going to count. So when the worker went on maternity leave, you put them on the TR level so
Yes.
that we know the visits wasn't happening. But once you assign them to the worker, you have to change them back to the level that they're supposed to be on so that you
Oh,
can see the amount of visits that they're supposed to have, and all of their requirements would then start popping up again. Because
I
right now,
see.
it's going to say 0.
That is kind of, I did note a little bit of confusion there because I had a feeling that they weren't being counted, but I thought I had to keep them on TR until the old staff member came back. Like the whole 3 months, I thought they remained on TR, but it sounds like you're saying they just, the new worker back on the same level that they were on before, or they won't count.
Correct.
I
And
see.
then when the new worker comes back when the old worker comes back from maternity leave, you would just be transferring her cases back to her.
Okay, that's very helpful, actually. I wasn't aware of that. We're still kind of new here, so this is my first time doing this. And so, to my understanding, then, if there was no new worker assigned to the family, then I would use TR. But if there is a new worker, then I just transfer them over as if that's their worker now, even though it's temporary.
Correct.
Okay, great. I'm glad I asked then. I'll have to do that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Denise and Melissa. I'm sorry that I wasn't clearer about that. I thought your question was, oh, does the do the cases maintain the same level of care? So yeah, thank you so much for Denise for clarifying that for Melissa.
Yeah, thank you all. I probably didn't phrase it that clear. So yeah, thanks for clearing that up, and it makes sense now. Appreciate it.
Great, great. See, that's why these meetings are so wonderful. We can help each other.
I'd like to ask a question. So let me apologize that my picture is not showing, but trees are down and stuff, and people keep knocking at the door, and I don't want to be getting up with it in my hand, so that's why I'm doing this in case I have to open the door again. So my program is we're fairly new, and the oldest baby in our program is 9 months old. Everybody's pregnant, and so we just had probably about 5 or 6 people just have their babies. So we had all these new babies, which is exciting. However, the moms do not want to, and I want to say 4 of them at least are brand new moms, never had babies before. So with the flu season and just being a new mom, they don't want anyone to come in the home and they're asking just for like that 2 or 3 week period of nobody, not being contacted. I still want to see you, but could you give me a couple of weeks? And then it's also cultural for 1 or 2 of them. They talk about the fact that they don't want people in the home for at least 4 or 5 weeks. I know that my FSS are a little oh my God, what's going to happen? They're worried about what it looks like now that they're not having the visits. And I may not be phrasing this correctly, how has anybody else handled it when we want to respect definitely everyone's culture and not come into the home, but still encourage the workers because of the fact that now it looks like they're not having visits? And if I didn't frame that correctly, I'll frame it a little bit. I'll try to.
No, I think I understand. So would the families be open to virtual visits? Because we're still allowing virtual visits for, if it's my understand, if I'm understanding this correctly, we still allow virtual visits for medical reason or cultural reasons. Is that correct?
I
think
didn't know
it's
we had
right around
medical for cultural reasons. One mom did say that she would be open. The rest of the moms were saying, especially one of the new moms says, I still want to take that moment, like to kind of navigate my way and bond. And I definitely want to pick it back up. But if you could just give me that time.
So that scenario, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know if this isn't really related to MIS, but yeah, that's what we offer is a virtual visit. But one of the things we found is it's not just the parents saying, we don't want you to come over for 3 weeks. So we had a conversation with the providers because the providers are telling them not to have anybody in. And so they know they're in building healthy families and that some support person is going to come in there, make things better for them, support them early on when they have breastfeeding issues or they have sleep issues.
Right.
Then it's important that the referral source or the provider knows that Healthy Families is involved and that they can say, don't let anybody besides a visiting nurse or Healthy Families. So that's kind of one of the ways that we can address it, but that's not an MIS thing.
Okay. Thank you for that.
So thank you so much, Trina. I just actually looked at a home visit and there is an option for family illness or pandemic. You can, say that. As far as like the cultural thing, that wouldn't be an MIS related. I feel like you should talk to your contract manager to see how you could handle that. Perhaps put them on CO until they're ready.
Okay.
But again, that's more of a policy thing and not really a technical thing.
Okay.
But there are, if they're open for virtual visits, you can for family illness or pandemic related, which again, in the way I think of it is if they're trying to avoid COVID, that's still pandemic, but you might want to talk to the contract manager about that too.
Okay. I appreciate all the comments. Thank you.
Hi, this is Carol Peeling from Broome. I hope everybody's doing well.
Hi, Carol.
I have a quick question. Hi, I have a quick question, and I'm sorry I'm not on Zoom right now. Can you walk me through the proper way to add, like another, like if there's a second referral that's received for a family from either a different referral agency or the same agent? Can you walk me through the proper way to like data enter it into the MIS?
So correct me if I'm not hearing you correctly, but are you saying that the same family has multiple referrals?
Yes. So say if, sorry, I had you on speaker and I was talking through the headset, but if say we get a referral on a family from WIC and then maybe 6 weeks later or, you know, a couple weeks later, we get another referral from DSS on a family and the referral say is still open, the original one.
Yeah, there's actually a referral outcome that addresses this. It's called an active referral or an open case for this participant already exists. So I think that, and you can check with your contract manager, but I believe OCFS wants you to enter the duplicate referral that you received from like DSS or a private provider, even though you aren't going to actually engage with it because you already have an active referral, just so that you can kind of analyze your referrals at the end of the year to say, oh, we're receiving a lot of duplicate referrals from these two sources. Maybe we can get them to communicate so that we only receive them from one spot. But yeah, there is a referral outcome that you can use to indicate that you aren't going to be actively engaging with that referral.
Okay, so I am on the referral form and I see that under the referral outcome information, there's referral outcome and there's a drop down box that I'm not sure if this is the spot you're talking about where it says, you know, either case continues or case is closed, and then like an active referral or an open case for this participant already exists.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that the proper place to track it?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. So say for example, because unfortunately I don't think we've been not handling them this way. And we just had the regional meetings and when Kristen Kirkland provided a presentation about this, I'm like, oh my gosh, because these our families are not being tracked like they were prior to the system taking prior to this specific change in the MIS. So if I get a second referral and there's one that's already an active referral or open case and I select that and then put referral outcome date, would that be, I would put the date of the second referral? Is that correct? Like say if I got another referral for a family who's already open, like today, there's a spot referral outcome and then referral outcome date. Would I put the date, like today's date, if I got a second referral today?
Yeah, I would say, so let's say you had an existing referral for your family, you received, we'll say January 1st.
Okay.
So that's in on your referrals. When you receive this new referral today on the 16th, you enter it as a brand new referral. So the referral date would be 1/16/24. The referral outcome date would also be 1/16/24 since you're marking it as there's already an active referral.
Oh, okay. So I enter it as a brand new referral, but then
Right.
for the outcome, I will select like an active referral or open case already exists.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
then
you wouldn't be
that
modifying the
referral-
existing one.
Okay. And then the one from the 16th would be closed.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. And then I'm just wondering for the staff, what that will look like to them. Because like say if I have a new updated phone number on the referral from the 16th, I would notify staff like, new number came in and it was from DSS, so please get a consent, for release of information when you contact them. I'm just wondering in the MIS then, when staff say they look up Sarah Jones, I can give them the update, but would they see both referrals, one that was closed on the 16th as well as the one that is still open that came in, like say on the 1st?
It's a good question. The information about the PC1 should be updated when you go through the process of entering the new referral. Because you click enter new referral, then it asks you to search for existing person profiles. So it would update the information about the PC1, like the phone number and such. They would potentially be able to see both of the referrals, the active referral and the one that you closed on the same day because it was a duplicate. However, they
Okay.
do display in different sections on the referrals page. So on the referrals page, there's a blue section called active referrals. That's where all of the currently in progress ones are. The one that you closed as a duplicate would be in the completed referrals section, which is down at the bottom, which unless they were specifically looking for it, I don't think they would notice.
Okay, but anything I put in on the 16th, if it's updated information, it will update the original referral. It sounds like the contact information will get updated.
Yes,
So
as
I'm
long
sorry.
as the PC1 is selected properly, yes. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because Carol, and correct me again, Ben, but it's not really the referral that's being updated, it's the person profile that would be updated, correct?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so in those terms, all the information going forward on that particular participant would be updated.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you both. I appreciate your assistance.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Does anyone have anything else?
Hey everyone, good morning.
Hi, Mingley.
Hi Corey. I have not a question, a comment. But if you have better idea, please let me know. I've been working on the service plan with all my staff, and I realized that when you go into service plan, you see all the domains on the left-hand side. But it takes supervisors a little while to click on each domains and find out what are the domains that the staff recently updated. So I'm wondering if there's a better way for supervisors, because we do have 14 different domains and sometimes we have additional ones. If there's a way for supervisors when they're approving notes to know right away what are the areas that we previously filled out, so they can just click on the ones that we already filled out and see if there's any updates. Does that make sense?
Can't thank you enough for bringing that up, Mangley.
I know that someone in the room might resonate with me because because we don't remember which domains are. You do see the priorities because it's marked on the left-hand side. You see the priorities, but not every single one that's already that we developed a plan.
So Stephanie added a comment to the chat, and she said that she goes over this during supervision, and she has her staff tell her which ones have been updated when they add it on their own. And she also has them initial their entry so they can talk about it during the supervision. So maybe the initials and a date in which it was entered, maybe that would help. I don't know, Corinne, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, it's a bit clunky, this service plan thing, but I think that I don't know can we search afterwards if we were to put the date as starting the comment, 10? Would that be a possibility?
Or
You
can
mean
you put
s-
an X? Can you put a red X next to the new entry? Like, is there a button we can push to say, so that the red X pops up? And then the supervisor knows even which domain to pop into.
Right. Or just show in, or just, by telling, somehow let the supervisor knows what are the domains that we initially developed. And then we can just click on those ones and see if there are any updates.
So
there
we have
may be, go ahead,
go
Corey.
ahead. Nope, you go ahead.
There may be some way we can figure out how to do that. I don't know that we can do it automatically. It may have to be something that the user indicates what that a domain was updated. Because when you pre-fill from a previous, you're allowed to make updates to existing domains. So for example, the family environment, if you set that up in the initial service plan, but there was an update, you pre-fill with the previous and then update that. It's hard for the system to tell that it was intentional or a fix or anything in between. So a possibility, like I think I just saw in the chat, yeah, like the priority box at the top, but one in each domain, possibly adding an updated or needs to be reviewed, something like that.
Yeah,
Would that be
that's an
helpful?
excellent idea.
Yeah, that would be very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing it up because I think you've just helped a lot of people. So
Yeah.
thank you. Nancy.
And just in general, to a general question to everyone, would a checkbox that indicates, so your worker goes in, they check this box, it shows up in the domain on the left when the supervisor goes to review it. Would you as a supervisor want to be able to uncheck it? Or would you just want to leave it there?
What would be the purpose of unchecking it? What's your thoughts on that?
So the idea generally is to kind of prompt the supervisor to know, oh, there's an update to this domain. Let me take a look at it and review it with my worker, right? If you've already reviewed it, let's say you don't completely finish reviewing the service plan in one session, you probably don't want to be prompted for the same domains again, right?
Yeah, I think being able to uncheck the box is going to be helpful. Then you can control it. It's really just meant for supervisors to be able to see it. So it's not going to go anywhere. But if we can uncheck it, then we're going to know the next supervision we need to follow up or we need to check all those domains. It's not going to always be the same domain too, depending on what happens.
Right.
And can it go to the additional sources section too? Because sometimes it's added to that bottom. Like, I don't know how doable that is.
Potentially, I'd have to look into that a little bit more because that section is a little bit different in how it's handled by the system. But I'll add it to the list to look into.
So Benjamin, the checkbox is saying that it's there to be reviewed, right? So the staff is going to be the one checking that checkbox. Once a supervisor sees that it's checked, they know to check it. But if they don't finish reviewing it, they can uncheck it and know that it's there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way we're going with this, where your worker enters a new service plan entry, and then in every domain they make an update or they add new information. They check this box, whether it says, I want my supervisor to review this or updates made, something like that. It will then give a visual indicator in the domain section on the left, whether it be a red X or supervisor please review text, something like that. Just something so that when the supervisor goes in, they don't have to look through all 14. And then the supervisor, once they actually review, can uncheck that box just to remove that visual indicator in case they review the service plan more than once. If they do it all in one session, they're probably not going to come back and look at it after they approve the form, but
Okay. It makes sense now. I thought you were saying
Yeah.
once they start to look at it, then they can uncheck it because, but I was getting confused and thinking, had they not finished that box and that box is now unchecked, they may not remember to go back to that particular box. So that's, but I'm hearing you say that once they've completed it is when they uncheck the box, that particular.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, once they finish it.
that makes sense.
Is there anyone else who has a question? Alrighty, so I'm going to end the meeting if that's okay with everybody, and this will be posted on the blog. Thank you, everybody, for your excellent suggestions and questions. And, you know, just take care and have a lovely rest of your January. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.